Hello, my name is Sergei. I am Director General of UkrAgroConsult company. I am very glad to make presentation about Ukrainian agricultural sector. I would like to start with climate. In Ukraine, climate is almost ideal for agriculture. In the extreme south of Ukraine, climate could be a little bit arid, but it is rather friendly for cultivation, for example, of wheat. In the center of Ukraine, precipitation are quite enough for cultivation of corn, and central part of Ukraine is very nice place for cultivation of corn. Well, in the extreme north, the combination of precipitation and warmness is really unique for any farm. Well, I could tell you that for the previous 10 years, average May temperature increases from year to year. And this is the reason why the corn area in Ukraine expanded so quickly. Just 5-10 years ago, Ukrainian corn production was about 5 million tons. But for the previous two years, Ukraine uses from 27 to 30 million tons of corn. Another point is that Ukrainian crops, Ukrainian grain yields are rather low in comparison with other countries. With European countries or other countries producers of wheat or, for example, corn. Average corn yields varies between 5 and 7 metric tons per hectare, so it is quite possible with application of modern technology to increase comparatively easy the corn production in Ukraine at least by 50 or even 70%. Due to high domestic grain production, Ukrainian grain export potential is also very high. Ukrainian grain production varies between 55 and 60 million tons, while domestic consumption is roughly about 25 million tons. So Ukraine is exporter number one of sunflower oil. Ukraine is exporter number 3 of corn. And Ukraine is world exporter number 6 of wheat. And we predict that export potential of Ukrainian grain will only increase in the course of time, as domestic food consumption is rather stable due to constantly declining Ukrainian population, and livestock inventories in Ukraine grow rather slowly. So Ukrainian consumption of coarse grain would be also rather stable and will not make any obstacles for further Ukrainian coarse grain export. Grain export destinations of Ukraine include North Africa, also include countries from Asia like India, like China, like Japan. And in spite of strong competition in the global markets, Ukrainian corn and Ukrainian wheat is rather competitive. Well, headquarters of UkrAgroConsult company is situated in Kiev. Kiev, it is extreme north of Ukraine. And key grain export terminals are situated in the extreme south of Ukraine, in the region of Odessa. So distance between Kiev, capital of Ukraine, and city of Odessa is just 500 kilometers. In fact, all traders, all farmers should concentrate on the most effective deliveries of Ukrainian grain from inland elevators to export terminals. Well, and Ukrainian grain is delivered to the export outlets by trucks, delivered by railway, and throughput capacity of roads in Ukraine are quite sufficient to ensure export of grain at level of 30 million tons in a season. Another rather powerful instrument which encourages Ukrainian farmers to export grain is very impressive devaluation of Ukrainian currency. For the previous 18 months, Ukrainian currency devaluated by more than 200%. So this encourages Ukrainian farmers to sell their grain to exporters. Please note that regulatory environment for Ukrainian agriculture is rather friendly. Sure, now it is a time of reforms in Ukraine, and the tax could be changed. But the reforms are only in the starting points, and we are sure that the general conditions for farming in Ukraine will not be worse compared to the current conditions. Key reason for our prediction is that Ukrainian agriculture becomes more and more important in Ukrainian economy as a source of hard currency incomes for Ukraine. So Ukrainian government and parliament pay more and more attention how to increase the attractiveness of farming in Ukraine. Many business models exist in Ukrainian farming. We could see family farms, we could see corporate farms, we could see cooperatives. Also, contract farming becomes more and more spread in Ukraine. For sure, large-scale farms are the most effective businesses in Ukraine, as they are able to combine and control all value chain, starting from the field and ending in the export outlet. Well, Ukrainian agriculture for the previous 20 years presents a number of success stories. These stories are in farming, in poultry production, in production of pigs, and so it is quite possible to take these positive samples as a basic model for foreign and Ukrainian investors. And according to the inquiries which UkrAgroConsult company receives for the recent time, we could state that attention and attractiveness of investments in Ukrainian agriculture only increases. Actually, this is all what I would like to tell you about. Thank you very much for your attention. I will be happy if you contact me for further discussions about development of Ukrainian agriculture in combination of foreign and Ukrainian national investments in this very important sector of Ukrainian economy. Thank you very much.